Hello, in this video from the Bad Back Gardener, I thought I'd take a little time and do a short video here on what all I've got going here in Central Florida here, a suburb of Orlando, and I have a house temporarily here, so I'm trying to do some gardening. And I told you in previous videos that I was going to do a garden tour for you, or a tour of what some of the stuff I got going on in my potted garden and also in my vegetable garden. So we'll take a look at that here real quick and let you see what I have going on. Okay, we're going to start here with my vegetable garden and see the struggles that I've been having. I've gotten a lot of tomatoes and stuff, but I've been struggling down here in Florida with spider mites and mealybugs. Extremely struggling. So as you can see, this is one of my beds here, and it is been ravished. I just got done spraying again for spider mites and mealybugs, and there's still some present, but this is what happens. It just sucks the life out of these tomato plants and makes them look crappy and pretty much kills them in the end if you don't treat them or if you can't get it under control. So I'm not sure whether these ones are going to make it or not. I have a feeling they are not, but I've had a problem before with them, and I've pulled some of my plants through and some of my plants I haven't. So anyways, I got some tomatoes growing here. This is actually tomato plant here in this bed. This is the one I built last year. It's got wheels on the bottom, but this tomato plant here, there's a few newer tomato plants, but this tomato plant is almost 2 years old. So it has been serving me well. So I hate to see the bugs getting it and killing it. So I'm trying to save it, and hopefully I can. But I planted some other tomatoes in with it, and but I've gotten a lot of tomatoes out of this thing, and I was hoping to continue it. So we'll see if I can pull it through or not. These were marigolds in this pot here. They're spider mites kind of got to them too, and so they've gotten so big they've fallen over. But I mean, they were looking beautiful at one point. Unfortunately, not now. I do have some pepper plants at the back side of this. Then I'm getting some nice red peppers from them. They're doing pretty good so far. This is a pot of cilantro that's kind of past its prime. There's a little bit of parsley growing in that one right there. Those one didn't come up. Seeds didn't all germinate very well. But and over here along the wall here, I got some lettuce growing. I watered them here, so they're kind of looking flat. They got kind of pushed down by the water. So, and then I got some flower pots over here in the corner. They're more in the shade because the sun just beats them down. And then another flower pot over there. And then in this garden here, these tomatoes here, again, I'm battling the mealybugs and spider mites. These are newer planted tomatoes. These tomatoes here are supposed to be a version that do better in the hot and humid weather. They're supposed to flower and set fruit better. So if I can get my problems with my bugs under control, we'll see how that goes. Got some beets growing here. There are some beets in here. They are coming along. A few beets in there. Come along. They aren't doing too bad. I have some basil growing here. It's done really good. And if this was smell-o-vision, you'd really smell the basil right now. It smells good. They're actually, basil's starting to flower a little bit. But yeah, it's been a struggle down here with tomatoes for sure. That pot there, this was all full of pots with tomatoes and peppers, but I cleaned it all out the other day because the bugs had just killed most of it and had gotten to it, so I got rid of it all, bagged it up in garbage bags and got rid of it. So but that pepper plant there is 2 years old too. Still producing a few little peppers here and there. Got a few peppers coming in here. Another pot of cilantro just coming on here. Got some marigold flowers and some other flowers growing there. And then here is some more of the heat-loving summer tomatoes that are supposed to do better. These ones aren't as bad as the other ones as far as bugs go. They've done a little bit better, but it's still struggling with them. So they're setting some tomatoes, so hopefully they do better. Over there with some turnips, but they've seen their better days, so they're pretty much done for that planting. Over here, this was a melon bed. I got watermelon, cantaloupe, honeydew planted in that. I got a few melons to come on and grow, but unfortunately I lost them all to some critters and some bugs. So it's starting to come back. They all started dying off. They're starting to come back now, and I've planted some new ones in amongst them. So we'll see if that does anything. And then over there is my cucumbers. And they've done pretty good. I've gotten quite a few cucumbers off of those plants. Then I ended up with some cucumber worms that were infested my cucumbers. So the recent ones had worms in them, so I treated that, so hopefully those go away. I have some more cucumbers coming on, and hopefully they start growing again and producing again for those cucumbers. So it's kind of been a very frustrating gardening experience here in Florida. The bugs have just been rampant, much more than they were in Pennsylvania. I've had harvested quite a bit of stuff, but yet I've lost quite a bit of stuff that I should have gotten more of. So, okay, we're gonna head over to the potted garden and I'll show you that. Okay, so I've used the front of my house that I have for my potted plant garden, my tropicals and flower pots. So I'll show you what that looks like here in some of the pots. So I made these flower baskets, pots and stuff, so I'm growing a lot of flowers out front. So these ones have done very well. There's quite a few plants in there. They've turned out really well. There's a couple of pots in my driveway. Marigolds are really tall, kind of gotten out of control a little bit, but they still look pretty nice with the flowers. And I created a little water catchment there for the mite, so it didn't wash out my mulch. And of course the sirens are all going off, so you're hearing that in the background. And all my tropicals, most of these tropicals are not from here. They are from here. Some of them grown from seed, but they were up in Pennsylvania, a lot of them. I got some palms down there, some small palms. Got my big palms that I've been growing for years and years. Sitting out here, they're doing good. Another potted flower plant that I put together. I have my date palm back there. I had that up in Pennsylvania too. There's an orange tree I've planted since I've been down here. I had an orange and planted those from seeds. There's another one in the back there. So I planted those trees from seed. They're growing pretty good. Palm trees back there. And the little pots in the back here. I'll try and show you that. My sago palm's doing really good down here. That came from Pennsylvania. And the sirens are getting louder and louder. irons are gone now. So the pots is another pot that I put together, and it's doing really good. And there's some palm trees that I've grown. I think that one came from Pennsylvania too. And there's a ponytail palm. It's doing really good. It's getting big. My banana plants that I brought from Pennsylvania, love it down here. They're doing really good. And my lilies that I had gotten from seed from Disney World years ago and grew them in Pennsylvania, they love it down here. Although I ran into a battle with some lopper grasshoppers down here. I think they're finally done now, but they're huge grasshoppers. And this one is actually flowering. As you can see, it's going to flower right out of there. So, those are doing good. My white bird of paradise that I started growing from a 6-inch tall plant up in Pennsylvania is now huge and outgrowing its pot. So hopefully soon at some point I'll get a permanent home down here and it will go into the ground. So I got I just planted these. This is some palms seeds that I planted, and also another round of tomatoes and peppers there. I'm trying to plant for more late summer, fall, and some more palm trees. Some of these I've grown since I've been down here. I planted from seed down here. They're coming up, and so some of those are from Pennsylvania. A couple of those might have been from Pennsylvania, but most of those were maybe grown from down here from seed. There's some more lilies here that I grew from seed from Disney World up in Pennsylvania and brought down. Another white bird of paradise that I've grown from a 6-inch tall plant up in Pennsylvania and brought down, and they like it down here for sure. And there's one of my palm trees that I've grown from seed for years. They're doing pretty good. Someday hopefully it'll go in the ground. And another banana plant that I brought down from Pennsylvania, and a white bird of paradise plant that I brought from Pennsylvania last year. And that is an actual bird of paradise. It's an orange bird of paradise. And there's a little lizard there. That is in the ground. That was here at this house. That was about the only plant that was here at this house. Okay, so that was our short garden tour here. I don't have a whole lot going on at this house here, and I can only do so much, being it's not a permanent place, but it's serving its purpose, and it's been nice to get some gardening in with all my pots that I have. It's a little watering every day with it hot and humid as it is down here, and in the garden I've been getting some vegetables, but it's been a struggle with the pests and stuff. It's a little different than up in Pennsylvania. I'm still getting used to the gardening down here. But that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Catch up with me on Facebook. You can also email me at bbgardener@zoominternet.net. And as always, if your back ain't hurting, you ain't working.